Jalen Brunson completely made up for last game's disappointment and stayed consistent, with Towns stepping up and doing his part despite a knee injury. The Knicks, who narrowly escaped a season-ending crisis once, still headed to Indiana as underdogs. But Indiana had their own pressure. If they couldn't finish the series at home, they'd face a tense Game 7 in New York. Every possession mattered for the road team, and Brunson's back-to-back scores gave them a strong start when they were down. But making turnovers against Indiana was never a good look, and Indiana kept playing their trademark fast-paced basketball. A fast tempo was exactly what the home team wanted. Early on, Brunson started thinking of Andrew Nembhard's defense and forced some tough shots, showing cracks under elimination game pressure. Haliburton also struggled a bit against Bridges' defense. But the home team, always deeper with their roster, held things together on their plan, inching ahead. Just like the whole series, the first quarter was already intense. Indiana missed Haliburton's direct scoring, but nobody can control their continuous push-tempo offense, and thankfully Pascal Siakam led the scoring. Then, the Knicks, who've been using a broader rotation lately, rode Landry Shamet's surprisingly strong offense, and Anunoby kept exploiting his physical advantage. Still, neither team managed to pull far ahead. But Indiana used Andrew Nembhard's sneaky help defense to exploit Towns' weak double-team reads.
Should be fresh. Haliburton wide open, his three. No hesitation. That's a bad defense.
Then even Haliburton hit a rare three-pointer. Nembhard's tough defense kept bothering Brunson, and Towns, playing through a knee injury, showed signs of pain. There was no breathing room for New York. It could be their last game. Though the court vibe didn't fully swing to Indiana yet, suddenly the road players started piling on fouls. Even Towns, usually good at foul control, committed a silly foul. Then from the second quarter, the refs started calling softer fouls, and Indiana's foul count went up too. Especially Nembhard, who was giving Brunson trouble, got called for a foul, and suddenly both teams' fouls started rising. But Indiana kept pushing transition offense, while Brunson still hadn't delivered up to his name's expectations.
Lost the ball. Another turnover. Picks it up the other way. Haliburton to the hole. Oh my goodness. And they quickly get it to Brunson.
Haliburton then slammed a fast break dunk to shake off his slump and even blocked Anunoby's three-point attempt. As Haliburton regained the aggressive spark Indiana had been waiting for, New York didn't back down in the starters' battle and kept trading buckets. But by halftime, the home team led, powered by a revived Haliburton. Right at the start of the second half, Miles Turner got hurt badly. And Hounds, maybe feeling guilty, missed all of his free throws, and then his driving layup got blocked too. Meanwhile, the home team players were feeding off Turner's fight. Of course, even then, Mitchell Robinson's rebounding was solid.
Turner's going over the top of him. You've got to jump to get the ball. Bryant had the block. Siakam the other way. Count it. Foul.
But it looked like Indiana totally took control of the second half. Turns out the momentum shifted after Turner's WNBA departure. That sudden double-digit deficit hit New York hard, but Brunson, who woke up after the timeout, helped them chip back in, and they almost escaped a potential blowout. And Thomas Bryant, who subbed in for Turner, played well too. But New York's struggles were Bryant's poor form and Brunson's turnovers, which piled up beyond his scoring. Meanwhile, Indiana relentlessly converted opponent turnovers into points.
On the wing, Neesmith. In the corner, Bryant. Another three. Oh my goodness.
Thomas Bryant stepped up as a game changer, and it looked like Indiana was having their signature third quarter. But this series never had an easy game, and the Knicks, facing possible elimination, burned timeouts to stop the bleeding. It worked. They quickly cut the lead to single digits. But as usual, their turnover issues came back to bite them, and Indiana capitalized with easy points off those mistakes. Brunson, who looked totally off tonight, seemed clearly rattled by Andrew Nembhard's pressure defense. Indiana's bench outperformed too, helping them hang onto a double-digit lead.
Durant, McBride on the wing, he's got the pass, he sets from three and fires, got it! Turnover.
turnover. Another turnover.
Wow.
In the end, it was New York's own turnovers that held them back. Josh Hart showed some fight during this stretch. But then Hart threw a sloppy pass late in the quarter, and Haliburton jumped on it for a closing dunk. Indiana ended the third quarter up by 15. At this point, Indiana looked firmly in control. But the final quarter started with Jarace Walker getting hurt, which slightly shook the atmosphere. Still, there was enough time. New York hadn't given up yet, but as soon as things got tight, Indiana brought back the starters, and Nembhard hit a tough mid-range shot.
Jalen Brunson. Shot clock at 4, pickpocketed by Nembhard.
Another steal, number 6 for Andrew, and having word.
Then scored again off a Brunson turnover, keeping New York down. They still aren't giving the other team any chance to catch up. Nembhard kept up his elite defense all the way, and Indiana's killer transition game didn't stop either. Haliburton, running slick two-man sets with Turner, notched another easy double-double. Indiana loved the high-scoring pace this game turned into. New York didn't quit even as time ran out. But their biggest problem was Brunson being totally off. With him struggling this bad, a comeback just wasn't happening.
Nembhard, 3. Oh!
Then Nembhard hit a 3, basically putting the series on ice. Brunson looked totally exhausted and out of gas, and Indiana, still ruthless, threw down a highlight dunk with Haliburton and Toppin, giving the fans a little extra love. Obi Toppin even swatted Anunoby's shot clean.
No defense.
Into Bridges, puts it up, and Toppin puts it down.
And finished with a flashy alley-oop dunk that brought the house down. New York subbed out their starters, knowing it was over, and officially wrapped up their season.
Game 1 by the Knicks.
Long shot, Haliburton. Oh!
Night.
Tyrese Haliburton has gone mad. 5.
Haliburton buried a deep 3 like he was just messing around. Say what you want, Haliburton's a star. Indiana closed out the series at home and punched their ticket to the finals, getting their first shot at a title in 25 years.
And that MVP is Pascal Siakam.
Pascal Siakam was named Eastern Conference Finals MVP. Haliburton now stands as the last Team USA player still playing. And the finals are officially set, Indiana versus Oklahoma. Finally, thoughts and respect go out to Knicks fans. It's been a ride.
Sucks, man. Simple as that. It sucks.